Hi, I'm Joy Ofodu. I am a CEO, digital creator, voice actor, and entrepreneur. Did I cover off? I think that's pretty good. Okay, I'm literally coming to you today very raw, very real. It's the end of the day. I'm in my bedroom. I do have a full Fenty face on. Don't play with it. But that's because I have been shooting here from home, which is essentially my office. I saw a lot of people affirm that they would like to hear the lessons from my first 6 months of entrepreneurship. This is creative, full-time, gig-based jobs, independence, no W-2, collecting those 1099s only. So I quit my job full-time. It had salary, benefits, networking, trips, per diem, all that good stuff, as well as millions of dollars in marketing budget that I really miss. And that was at a major tech company. That was in October. The very same week that I quit, I had a red carpet. I was flown out to speak to folks who had been following me for a long time, which is really inspiring people to get into tech. I launched my podcast the next month, Dating Unsettled. We now have over 10,000 different downloads. We're in NBC, we're in Time. I was cast in a number of voiceover projects, from animated to VR to short films to audiobooks to podcasts to dramas. And I've been having the time of my life servicing different clients, whether that's DIRECTV or Dove. And we've created a lot of content in the past couple of months. So at the core of my business is voiceover, talent, aka acting, right? We got branded or sponsored content, comedy, which really comes out via short form video production, consulting, which, you know, sometimes I write a little IP here and there, I dabble, and then photography whenever I want to have a little fun on the weekend. Okay, but real talk though, let's get very real about it, because people glamorize that business owner lifestyle, that quit your job, that don't work for nobody else lifestyle. This is how it's been for me past couple of months. I would say they've really been gilded, is that the right word? Overshadowed by financial panic. That's got to be the biggest thing. I made the decision to quit a job that was bringing a really steady income, like don't even check my bank account type of privilege, because I was living at home with my family, saving money. So my expenses were like far below my actual like standard of living, right? Or cost of living. Cost of living extremely low. And I just spent whatever, whenever. It was a true luxury. I recognize like most Americans do not live like that. I had to kind of put my big girl pants on and start saving because I invested in a home. So at the same time as quitting my job, going on gig-based work, I buy a home. Nice. What I felt in that first month of quitting was a whole lot of excitement. I felt grief. I felt like I had left a part of my identity and what I studied for behind, because I went to undergrad and I got a master's of science in marketing. So to feel like I was moving on from something that a lot of people beg for, you start to check yourself like, am I crazy? Was this the right thing to do? But by the time I finally sort of left the doors of Instagram, of that tech company, I felt like, all right, now I have more time on my hands for my business. The financial panic portion was not knowing if I was going to get that next gig, that next contract, feeling pretty good about my network, but it never being a guarantee gave me a lot of concern. This manifested in like sleepless nights, a lot of worry. I would talk through it. I've been very transparent about my panic, which sometimes lands well with people, sometimes doesn't. But ultimately, I would say that that's something I still deal with today. I have exceeded and in fact needed to stretch my financial goals in just 6 months since quitting. I got the 120K production contract from Snapchat, which is huge, like huge things for my peace of mind. Absolutely. I'd be crazy if I didn't say that that affected it. I also had a very strong Black History Month, right? So I recognized most of my income for the year was going to come from branded partnerships during BHM. And I typically go for partnerships that are $7,000. That's kind of my starting rate in some areas, which is really nice. So collaborating with these major companies for $7,000 per project, which can stretch to $10,000, $17,000 or more, depending on the usage, the asks, the territories, the assets, or scaling down, scaling down to smaller partnerships when I need. I've been able to generate, it's funny, it's like, it's not a stable income. I'm very aggressively pitching, seeking meetings, putting my face out there. I'm on these creator marketplaces. I'm applying to different campaigns. It's not stable, because sometimes here's part of the panic. People are paying you on net 30, 60, 90. So instead of you getting that paycheck every 2 weeks, you're getting your paycheck sometimes every 90 days. You need to be extremely financially savvy to know what you're handling month to month. The second part of being an entrepreneur that really stuck out to me was the management of my accounting. Like, I definitely did quite a bit of this when I oversaw projects at Meta, doing it for yourself, overseeing all of your personal and professional accounting. God help you. I mean, you're gonna be fine. I've definitely had to enlist not only my financial advisor, but lean a little bit more heavily on my tax advisors to be like, oh my God, okay, am I making deadlines? How are we doing this transition from the W-2 to the W-9? Like, is everything okay? Am I properly registered? Am I paying my federal tax on time, my state tax on time? Like, all of this is top of mind for me, and I've just had to be a lot more in the weeds of my business's finances than I originally intended. However, learning from T-Pain, learning from Kevin Hart, learning from Columbus Short, right? It's good to be in your money. I think, was it Saweetie? There was another female musician who was like, learn it. Learn your money. Learn the accounting. This is not the part you want to skip out on as an entrepreneur. So in my first 6 months, I've become much more tax savvy and budget savvy. Because again, I almost didn't budget. I was just saving. Now we are investing and we're budgeting. The fun part for me of the first 6 months is I started to notice almost immediately whimsy come back into my life. Like, it honestly feels good. I turned my bedroom into a forest. I started gardening. This is a fern that I've been growing. Like, that feels really good to be in a place where you're just letting lovely, fantastical things into your life. And I can see things that I wasn't seeing before because I was working so hard. Like, I can just see the loveliness of things. I watch dust flow through the air. I cook and I'm enjoying the sizzle, the smell of butter, the smell of onions. Cooking wasn't even something I was doing because I felt like I never had the time. But now I cook myself 2 to almost 3 meals a day. I plant, I garden. I've got like over 15 plants in my care. And I feel like I can be a kid. I can dress up. I wear sometimes 3, 4, 5 different outfits a day, which is crazy, but it's like I'm playing around in my I'm playing around in my closet. I'm gardening, I'm cooking, I'm skipping steps. You know, when I like go down the stairs, I'm dancing, I'm out in public. It feels great. I think the next difference though, other than finding the loveliness of things, is finding the humor. Like, for me as a comedian, I think a lot of my humor was coming from dating experiences. Now it's coming from everywhere because everything is funny. Like, I feel like I have time to laugh. Like, laughing is a luxury. Laughing is something I can now afford. To be able to stop and just like write down something stupid that happens in my life is really a lot more frequent than before I quit my job. I feel like I have more time for like the girly things, you know, skincare, makeup, furniture. I don't know if furniture is girly, but it feels like it sometimes. Other things I notice is that I'm extremely talented. Like, the past 6 months and me exceeding my financial goals have shown me that I'll be okay no matter what happens, no matter what is the function of what I'm doing, right? Whether it's photography or consulting or the show running or the producing or the acting, I'm gonna be high. And I think sometimes when our talents are attached to a job, if we lose that job or that position or we get laid off, we feel a little bit nervous about whether or not we're gonna be all right. But standing on my own 2 feet as an entrepreneur showed me like, oh baby, I'm good. I could serve in a variety of different roles at a million different companies, but I'm really glad that I'm working for myself. Not having a team and not having a boss is not as lonely as I thought that it would be. I loved my team and my manager, but for me, I'm building my own team, right? And I get to work with freelancers and have really light touch with them. So that's been delightful for me because I'm not the person that wants to be on a team call every single day. This has given me a really good balance of my days. Having a Monday, a Tuesday, a Thursday free is an insane feeling. Something very important that I noticed is that I thought being an entrepreneur meant I could have like completely unscheduled time with a couple meetings here or there, you know, and just take my routine day by day and Tony Stark it. Absolutely not. I had to sit down, figure out when my brain is working, when it wants to relax, when I feel like playing, when I feel like strategizing, when I feel like applying and pitching myself, and organize my day as such. I've gotten a little loose with it now that we're in our 6th month, but I literally have calendar alarms for like, all right, 9 to 11 a.m. we are prepping decks, you know, 11 to 12 we're meeting, 1 to 3 pitching, 4 to 5 get money time, 6 to 7, you know, like everything is calendared out based on how my body and how my brain want to work each day. So if you think that quitting your job, if you're a habit girl, if you are a creature of habit, that's what they call it. If you're a creature of habit and you feel like quitting your job is going to be your excuse to just do whatever you want every single day with no routine or structure, bad news is no. I've noticed my friends, my family, and my support system really rally, like really stick up for me in certain situations, defend me, energize me, motivate me, pump me up, and I need that, honestly. Like, I'm an extrovert, I need it. I need the support. I'm a soft, sensitive girl, I need the love, and it's really great to see how everybody has shown up for me since quitting. Final thing that's really coming up for me is that my public profile is rising, right? So I have had to be a lot more sensitive about security, about where I invest myself, what I tie my name to, the organizations, the brands, the projects I participate in. Everything is much more precious, and knowing that my entire entire career is built on the internet. Like, yeah, people like to see me in person. We're definitely gonna do more in person this year. But knowing that everything's built on the internet, on what I say, on what I do, on how I appear, that has been very nerve-wracking. So I take things a lot more personally. I've definitely been more sensitive since quitting, and I'm careful, extremely careful with what I say or publish online, and the places that I put myself. I don't always want to be that precious. I've definitely had the creative identity crises of overwatching the trends, right? Hyper analyzing my insights on social media and being like, okay, I need to tailor myself to what people want this week. I need to do these trends. I've also noticed more comparison with other creators, which I hate. I like to compare for like scientific reasons, but I don't like to do that social comparison of like, dang, like look at those trips that they're going on. Look at what she's posting on her account. I hate that. I really try to stay away from it. And it was easier to not compare myself with other creators when I wasn't a full-time creator. Now that I am, I'm like, okay, where am I positioned against these 5 female comedians, you know? And I kind of have to like stack things and create a differentiator in order to market myself. This is more so to clients than it is to audience members. Cause I think if you love clowns, you're gonna follow 5 clowns, right? But if you're a brand and you have one $10,000 budget, you're gonna invest in one creator. So I'm trying to figure out where I stack against everybody and reminding myself that my dreams, my goals of voiceover, of running a show, of having sponsored dinners in different cities, these are not every girl's goals, you know? So we can share, we can be in the same place, we can nominate each other to opportunity, but I'm just a little bit more sensitive about it than before I was a full-time entrepreneur. That's it though. First 6 months, lit, money, good, God, good, friends, amazing, family, baby, boyfriend, everything's good. Like, I'm really happy to be in my own physical space, to have a separate studio / office, you know what I'm saying? Room for creation. I've never had that in my life before this season. Things are going up for me. The auditions are getting bigger. The paychecks are getting bigger. The clients are getting more global. The connections with audience and the impact on audience is getting stronger. Like people telling me, Joy, I'm leaving toxic relationships because I listened to your podcast. I'm like, what? Huh? So to know that I can do that in someone's life is incredible. And I'm thanking God for this position. I will not waste it. That's one thing I'm not going to do is waste it. And what's next for me in the next 6 months is like, honestly, I said to myself, I want to be an entrepreneur, independent, not go back to a full-time job for at least 1 year. So we made it halfway. We're at the 6-month mark. Financially, we will be good for the next 6, but I do think it would be interesting to see just how far ahead I can keep getting with my partnerships, with my deals, with my income to make sure that I'm securing that independence. And I could probably do this for a grip. I'm not tired. I don't think I would be exhausted of this in the next 6 months. So in the next 6 months, we're definitely going to ramp up on production. We're working on Dating Unsettled. We're working on my Snap show. We are traveling to different brand trips, which is so exciting. I'm appearing live more and doing more comedy in person. I want to meet my audience, my fans, my followers in person. So we're doing a lot of, I don't want to like spoil it. So you'll see in the next 6 months. I hope to be able to come back in 6 months and tell you what happened. And voiceover is just going to continue to drop, baby. So if you like this smooth, silky voice, nominate me to a game, a podcast, a project. We move it. I hope these reflections help you. I'm so down to answer any questions about my first 6 months as an entrepreneur and creative freelancer. You can find me online at joyofodu.com, datingunsettled.com, or at joyofodu, because you know, I be on social media making a living and stuff. See ya.